Update 6 is out on experimental and I'll be streaming a brand new save, but there are several things that I'm not going to be doing with it, which I recommend you don't do either. But before I mention that, I'm actually going to be setting up a new VOD channel for my Twitch live streams, which you can find on YouTube. So if you do want to watch the live streams while I'm not online, then I will put a link to that channel below. Now, you're also probably wondering why I'm starting over as well. The first reason, and there's a few, is that I'm moving abroad for the next 6 months and will be using a less powerful PC, so I doubt that my save will be able to run on my travel PC. And yes, I can use one of my dedicated servers for it and it will run perfectly fine, because we all know that the dedicated servers actually allow us to have more FPS in game. However, I won't be able to add manual saves, which makes it difficult for doing a Let's Play. So seeing as I can't use a dedicated server for that, I'm going to have to rely on my new PC. I've also found that my build styles have greatly changed since Update 4, which is when we started the previous Let's Play. So this is actually the perfect opportunity to play around with newer build styles across a whole map. And I also want to start a new Let's Play, as I've just mentioned. The previous Let's Play was fun, but at what, 50 episodes now, or it will be 50 episodes, I've felt that a lot of the middle episodes have just been quite slow, and in each episode I'd really like to complete a different project and keep the pace up with that. I've learned a lot. This was my first ever Let's Play series, and so I'd like to bring you something a little bit more reinvigorated, new and upbeat. So don't expect a Let's Play every week, but there will be a new series coming. And finally, there's a lot of new people who have joined our channel, so this is actually the perfect opportunity for them to watch a series from the start and then join me in stream without missing the first half of the series. But without further ado, what are the 5 things that I'm not going to be doing in Update 6? Well, firstly, don't expect me to be using vehicles. Despite their changes in Update 5, I still find them buggy, so I'm going to be avoiding them where possible, at least until until the full release 1.0. I'll still be using trains and possibly drones, but early game will solely be done by conveyor, which means whilst I place endless lines of conveyors, I'm going to be listening to my favorite songs that I produced over on Spotify or YouTube Music. And it's freely available to all of you, and it's copyright free and a great way to support the channel. So should you wish to listen to it or use it yourselves, the link is in the description below. Now, my second change is that I won't be focusing on a single massive mega factory. As I mentioned in a recent video, I say recent, a month ago, 2 months ago, there are some big problems with mega factories versus a modular approach to multiple factories. Now, you can find the video in the cards above, but basically, I want to make this save available to my patrons, and as such I'm more focused on maintaining a higher amount of FPS throughout the save so that people on less powerful PCs, which is me for now, will be able to play the game. Thirdly, and on the subject of multiple buildings, I'm going to try and build less weird shapes. The clipping used to make them can sometimes flicker and look ugly, but often I find that complex shapes can make the build feel choresome or difficult to complete. And that can lead to me feeling uninspired or worn out when it comes to doing these builds, such as, for example, the central storage system that we have here. The central area looks great and I love it, but outside of there, within the building, it's just unfinished, and I've lacked that motivation to return to it. And it's also slightly inefficient because I mixed up 2 outputs from the station with 1 input to the storage, so it's all throttled and bottlenecking, so I need to kind of tear that down. I just don't have the inspiration for it at the moment, and really I want the next series of Let's Plays to have each of their sections finished, so by taking a much more standard approach to the builds, though they'll look cool, they won't be such weird shapes. I say that we will probably do some weird shapes, but I'm going to try my best not to. And when it comes to cable management, the fourth thing is I hate having cables strung crisscrossing along some of my factories. So I'm going to make an effort to get rid of them and create cavity walls, which will cover the cable management for the whole factory. That way each factory is going to look much cleaner. And my fifth change isn't really something that I'm not doing, but it's something that I'm going to be doing instead, which is adding smart splitters at the start of every manifold to ensure only the right resources enter onto my lines, and everything will then be immediately sent to storage or the sink. This is partly about putting fail-safes into the saves and ensuring that everything runs at 100% power consumption constantly, but it's also to save me from becoming lazy, as only half of the resources that I'm currently producing are actually going to the storage because, as I mentioned earlier, I need to fix storage. So this kind of will help me keep on track and focused. And speaking of focused, the sixth thing, which I haven't placed down, is planning out the factories more. So in advance, I want to work out what it is that I'm going to be producing so that I know exactly what I need in each factory. And we'll probably try and get one or two of each item produced, with the exception of, nuclear waste, so that we have something to work to for the end goal of the game. I'm also going to make an effort to stop using the regular areas for factories, such as the rocky desert or the cliffs by the Spire coast, and the grassy plains for things like the mega factories. The reason for this is it's something that you've all seen after 3 years of the game, and I need a bit of spice in my life. I need to swap it out a little bit more, and though I can't deny we will use some of those spots. But the focus of this build is going to be more about using less used areas. Obviously, we're going to be featuring the Spire Coast for a few builds. There's also the swamp, which we're going to do in this build. And I already have a pretty cool idea as to what I want to do with it. But we'll also try to use other less used areas as well, such as the Pink Forest and Blue Crater. Just expect me to have Nuke Nobelisk ready for when I go into the areas, because I can't stand spiders. So there you are, guys. That's everything that I've planned to not do or to add in to my Update 6 playthrough. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you're looking forward to my new Let's Play, make sure to drop the thumbs up. And obviously, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe. And why not let me know what you're choosing not to do or to do for your next save. But we are going to leave it there. Thank you so much to our amazing supporters, most notably our SoloXclipse patrons, The Calamity, Cerebral Tag, James Owen, and Firefless, as well as our Lunas, Dixie Chris, Lord of July, and Ben, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Chick Norris. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.